Welcome to the Practical AI for You channel. We're here to help you harness the power of AI chatbots at work and in your daily life. Whether you're new to this technology or looking for advanced tips, our practical examples will help you get the most out of this evolving technology. Today's video demonstrates how chatbots can revolutionize your trip planning. Unlike web searches, chatbots can tailor their responses to your specific needs, filtering out unnecessary information, saving you hours of search time. In this video, we'll show you how to guide chatbots step by step, starting with the initial query and refining that until you get an actionable, specific plan from the chatbot in the exact format you need. Whether you're just getting started or have years of experience, you'll find value here. So let's dive in and discover how to unlock the full power of AI chatbot. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to ask ChatGPT in this case to find the best locations for a weekend trip in the border states of Ohio for taking long bike rides, and we want to take them on trails. ChatGPT comes back with several choices. Unfortunately, the majority of the responses are in Ohio, and my wife and I have already taken these trips. So we're looking for trails exclusively outside of Ohio in the border states. So we need to provide a clarification for ChatGPT. So we're going to clarify. We don't want the trails to be in Ohio. We're also going to provide some information about what we like and what we like to do when we're on these trails. So we talk about stopping at restaurants and breweries. We love diverse scenery, especially riding along water. We want to have the ability to look at the results and select which trip we'd like to take next. ChatGPT has come back with its responses, and we can see now that all of the trails are outside of Ohio. It provides a description of the trail. It talks about the scenery, talks about the towns it runs through, talks about local eateries and breweries. So now it's providing us information that we could use to select which trail we want to actually take next. Okay, we're getting close. But I just realized we don't know how far away any of these trailheads are, and that will affect our decision. It's also likely that we will camp overnight, given that all of these trails are out of the state of Ohio. So we need to ask for some information about campgrounds, and we want to make sure that we specify that the campground needs to be able to accommodate our 23-foot RV. So let's go ahead and provide the updated request. Awesome. Now we have each of the trailheads and the distance from Columbus, Ohio, as well as potential campgrounds. Let's see if we can't get all of that information consolidated in one listing. So ChatGPT has come back, and it's actually put this in a much easier format for us to read. And one of the things you'll learn as you work with the chatbots is they do reformat and change the way they respond. And you'll notice that the way they respond can change during an inquiry like this or between inquiries. Let's take a look at this. We have our trailhead location. We have the distance. There's one more thing we need. We need the address of the trailhead, because we don't want to have to find it based on a definition of Pittsburgh, PA. Let's go back to the beginning of the response, and we can see that the first trail was the Great Allegheny Passage, also known as the Gap Trail. The trailhead location is in Point State Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The distance from Columbus, about 185 miles. The trail is very long at 150 miles. The scenery is rivers, forests, bridges, tunnels along the Youghiogheny River. And there are breweries and dining available in Ohiopyle and Confluence. The nearest campground is Ohiopyle State Park, gives us the address, distance to the trailhead, the amenities, and the place we can go to get our reservation. So we can scroll down the list and we can see that all this information's been provided. This is fantastic. Now my wife and I can sit down, look at this list, maybe do a little more research, and pick our next destination for our next great adventure. One of the things I've learned in working with chatbots over the last 2 years is if you're making a fairly detailed request, it's often a good idea to go ahead and put your request down in a separate document and continue to edit it as you find you need to add more and more detail or information to your request to get the results you're looking for. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've done exactly that. I've taken what we learned from our interaction with ChatGPT, and by the way, that was the free version of ChatGPT, and I created a document. I then copied that document into each of the 5 top chatbots. The result from ChatGPT once again came back with an issue where it was specifying some trails inside of Ohio. If we look at the response from Claude, it was perfect. It provided all the information that we requested, including the alternative campground. And it did not have an issue with understanding which states were border states of Ohio. When I pasted the request into Gemini, it also did an excellent job of responding, provided all the information that we requested. The same was also true of Perplexity, and if you haven't looked at Perplexity before, it also provided maps that it found on the internet, and it included links to the sources for the information, but it also did a great job, and in fact, it actually put ratings for each of the items that we requested information on. And finally, when we look at Microsoft Copilot, we'll notice that it is also geography challenged like ChatGPT, because in fact it is based on the ChatGPT chat engine. So what are some of the takeaways from today's video? The first takeaway is that when it comes to travel planning, chatbots are just like a human travel agent. You have to tell them what you want to get the results you want. You also have to tell them what you don't want. Number 2, don't be afraid to iterate. If the chatbot doesn't give you what you want on the first try or the second try, continue to update your request until you get what you're looking for. Number 3, a big time saver is to write everything down in a separate document. It is much easier to edit it there than it is to edit it in the chatbot dialog box. ChatGPT and Copilot were geographically challenged. They were struggling to understand what a border state was. The other 3 chatbots did not have that problem. And finally, you can build a detailed request to get exactly what you want from the chatbots and save a lot of time in planning for your trip. Not only did the chatbots find the trails in the border states of Ohio, they also did a lot of the legwork. They found the trailhead addresses, they located primary and secondary campgrounds that were qualified to fit our 23-foot RV, and they gave us the reservation websites. From past experience, all of this would have taken me more than a couple hours to pull together, not to mention I would have then had to type it all out as I found the information. Thank you for watching this episode of Practical AI for You. Today we explained how chatbots can refine trip planning by providing tailored suggestions and then refining those suggestions step by step. Whether you're new to chatbots or an experienced user, I hope you picked up something of value today. Remember, the best way to get good results from chatbots is through clear communication. Define what you want, refine the queries, and verify the details. This process not only saves you time, but it also helps you uncover information that you might not have found through traditional methods. While we focused on planning a biking trip in this video, you can adapt this approach to do anything you want. You could look for family-friendly destinations or a great hotel for a weekend getaway. Chatbots can be incredibly versatile when you provide the right information. To help you get started, I've included the final query in the pinned comments below. Feel free to adapt it to your own travel needs and let us know in the comments below how you leverage what you learned today to plan your next excursion. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Also, if you click on the bell below, you'll be notified of any new content from Practical AI for You. I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite way to use AI chatbots in your daily life? Please let us know in the comments. For more practical tips and tutorials, please check out the other videos on our channel. or go to our website, practicalaiforyou.com, where we have blogs, downloadable content, and copies of these videos. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into how you continue to leverage AI chatbots to make your life and work easier. Take care and happy exploring.